Hello and a warm welcome to my channel where I cover stocks and the derivative data for markets on a daily basis. So today's video is on Godrej Property, the flagship Godrej company and one of the giants in the real estate listed sector. So I'll do the analysis from a monthly, weekly, daily down to the hourly so that we can look at the as the stock as a perspective from a long, medium, and short-term point of view. So let's start with the monthly first. So in the monthly, we can see that after the initial hiccup the stock had from 2010 till 2013, was a small dip. After that, it has had a spectacular rally, where time and again it has witnessed some form of corrections. Initially, the rally which we can see in the stock was very volatile. We have a sharp dump, we have another sharp dump, then we have one more sharp dump out here, and from there we have more steady rallies. Okay, so the structure of the correction each time has been very different in its case. So this was another rally, and then we had a large sideways correction in it. A very large sideways correction in terms of price and time. And then from the COVID lows, we can see a fantastic rally, which went from 400 to 2,400, which is a 6x return to the stock. But comparatively, if we also see from the 2013 lows of 125 odd, it went up to 1,000. So that in percentage terms was a much bigger rally so far for this stock. So which says that as per Ichimoku, the stock could be still in this rally which started in March 2020, could be still got a big leg of this rally. We could call that this was the first part of the big leg, and this is a counter trending wave to it. Yeah. So this is the next leg of the rally out here. This is the counter trend of that rally. So if you look at the larger picture of the rally, then this was the first leg. This is the counter leg. And now within the next big leg, we have a correction happening, which could now see some upward movement again in the stock towards the upside from here, probably like this in the coming months or weeks, because this is a monthly chart we are talking about here in terms of Ichimoku wave formation in it. Now, from the highs of to October 2021, when all the entire market we saw bulk of the stocks correcting, so did this correct, coming down and breaking its baseline. Now, from the rally from March 2020, this was the first time that the baseline was violated, and typically after the baseline violation, the stock has a history of testing the cloud, the Ichimoku cloud. Here we have one, here we have one, and again we saw the same thing out here of a test of the cloud in the month of April, March, April. The future Kumo is still very narrowly bearish in the monthly out there. So from a monthly perspective, a buyer cannot be so aggressive if you're looking at monthly right now in it. But monthly will definitely take its own sweet time to turn from bullish to bearish. It needs a longer period. That's why we look at it from a bigger horizon point of view. Now let's look at what is happening in the weekly of the stock. Now in the weekly, the correction, this leg of the correction, which I explained that in the Ichimoku term, what we saw was the first leg of the rally, then the pullback of this particular rally which took place, the counter trending. Now it could there is a possibility that it could now start that next up move out here. Now, in the weekly, we've had the baseline cut. We've had the lagging line of the Chiku enter into the cloud now. The obstruction was there, because of which it spent roughly 3 to 4 weeks stuck in that zone, not able to penetrate it. And now it's penetrated and gone up. So in the weekly, where is the next resistance? Clearly, this fractal out here at 1500 30, and then at 1570 there is another one. So two immediate resistance for the stock: 1530, 1570. If it can take out this particular level out here, 1570 on a weekly basis, then the next possible target for the stock would be somewhere close to 1850, 1900, where it could face some resistance, or we could see some consolidation happening before it again attempts a smart move on the upside, a strong move upside. Now, before I go to the lower time frame, let's have a look at again the monthly and understand whether the monthly also is reflecting the same resistance, which is around 1850 out here above 1570, the big one. Okay. So in the monthly also, we can see the baseline resistance is at 1800. So both monthly and weekly suggesting that this uptrend could, after 1570, go and take an obstacle around that zone of 1800, 1850, like that. Now let's have a look at the daily time frame and the hourly time frame. But before we go there, let's have a look at the future change in future data and option data. What is that telling us right now? Before I go ahead, just for those who are interested in learning Ichimoku, harmonic trading patterns, trading psychology, and risk management, my course are there, videos with PDF, hand holding, one-on-one sessions, clarification of your doubts, and confirmation of what you have understanding. So a course which is theory, where you learn by watching the videos and the PDF, practical, where you cross connect with me and try to see whether you're doing it right, so that your trades execution and your investing decisions are going in the correct path or not. So both practical and theory combination and an assessment of that also happening. Apart from that, those who take up the trading psychology risk management class get 10 sessions live one-on-one with me, where each and every session we learn how to reduce risk, how to complement our studies with the immediate trend, and how to find strength and weakness in the market depending on the way the trend is moving and progressing. A lot is covered in those sessions also. So those, if you have any doubts or you want to shout out a query to me or want to know how to go about it, you can send me an email and I will come back to you on this. Now let's go back and try to understand what the open interest data of futures and options of Godrej property is telling us. Now, in the futures data, we can see that there's not too much of activity happening in Godrej properties among the last 5 days. A 3% increase in price, but no change in OI has taken place in 5 days. Today, yes, that is June 14th, Wednesday, we can see a move which has also got a very small amount of OI change. So, depending on, because we saw that the stock had a couple of sideways movements and a little bit of fall, if there is a continuation on the upside, because it has managed to, the lagging span has got inside the weekly cloud. So any further move up could see some short covering happening in the stock in the next coming days, because I can't see anything significant yet in the data out here. Let's have a look at what the open interest is telling us in it. The options open interest in Godrej property. It's not a very liquid option liquidity in the stock, but let's still nevertheless try to understand what that data is suggesting to us. So we can see there was a significant amount of put addition at 1500 today. Remember, the spot price is at 1500. So add the money put, so some put writing also possible out here, because we can see large amounts of short covering of calls, right from 1400 all the way to 1480. Now you can see that the lower ones are long unwinding also. Those who bought the calls have booked out today, but the upper one, 1520, is more like, and 1480 looks more like short covering to me, because the price has just gone there right now. So interestingly, 1500 PCR is still quite bearish at 0.29. So we'll look at what could trigger a upward move where some short covering could come down and downward. The 1400 call has the maximum OI, not too much OI in between. Like I said, there's not too much liquidity in the options of the stock. So now let's have a look at what the daily and the hourly charts are telling us. So yeah, so let's now look at what the daily charts are telling us of Godrej property. So we've seen this rally from March and April has two gap ups. The first gap up is quite a significant one on 10th of April, and the second gap up, very, very tiny, just 2 rupees, is on 13th of June. Both the gaps are still open. So very clearly, if there is a resistance of this 1529.30 and the stock fails to survive and sustain above it, then the first support for the stock will come in this gap area of 50, 14, 40, 45. Failure to hold that gap area, we could see it push its way down to 1375 odd levels. Worst case in the extreme short term, if even there is a tremendous selling pressure, because we see this is one breakout level out here at 360. Logically, this area should work as a good support area, and we have a future Kumo which is quite bullish. Okay, so that's one area I would be looking at in Ichimoku as terms as a support. But by chance, if something does not stop it, then we are seeing a steep drop down towards 1250. That's what the daily time frame is telling us out here. Now let's have a look at what the hourly is suggesting at this current juncture for the stock. Hourly is quite bullish. The baseline is slightly flattish out here. That's why a lot of candles have gone sideways today. So needs a little bit of push, which could maybe because of the FOMC meet tonight. A lot of activity could be because of that. So this could be a trail for immediate short term of 1470 in it. Below that, we have that 1440 support, and major weakness is only below. Panic could come in below 1400 in that stock. So if we try to see it all in across all the time frames now and try to assess that which area on the downside is extremely crucial for the stock. So it's 1300 if this level of 1400 does not hold. So 1300 is extremely crucial out here, 1325, because that also happens to be the weekly cloud support and the daily cloud support also at the same time. And even a fractal formation is out here. So a lot of support coming down at that level for the stock where it could, in case there is some selling pressure, where it could be protected on the downward. Upward, like I suggested, if it goes above 1530, then 1570, that's the zone where the stock could spend some time. It's not going to be that easy to break through that wall, but it could do some consolidation in the sense that it could, do something like this, hit 1570, do a test of this breakout area out here, and then try the next big attempt for 1800 or level, because that could be one. But in case it manages to even pierce above 1570, then you know that the next stop is around 1850 like that. So overall, stock in a bull trend, quite strong. Depending on FOMC tonight, because interest rates immediately impact real estate sector. So what thing comes out of there, how the market is going to react to the data tonight will be very crucial. And with that, one should plan the entire trade, because 1530, frankly, is very close compared to the close of 1506, with a trail at 1470 for a fresh extreme short-term entry. I would wait for 1530 to be sustained above. Nice sustaining above that to look at something fresh. Or I would, personally, if I were to do this trade fresh, I would be looking at a kind of pullback. Otherwise, to look at an entry, because overall structure looks bullish If not for a major reversal, then definitely for a good bounce on the upside in the stock case. If it manages to, yeah, I didn't cover the part above 1850, 1800. If it manages to sustain above this level, if you remember when I started the video, I said the Ichimoku wave structure has probably got one more leg on the upside pending, then this could be that leg which could take it to an 80H. So those are the factors I would be looking at. A disclaimer, this is not a trading advice. It's just an educational video on the stock based on the Ichimoku multi-time frame system. Before you take a decision whether to buy it, sell it, invest in it, exit it, whatever, please do your thorough research properly and then come to a decision. Please keep in mind risk management and all the factors you have regarding your holding per time frame of the stock, your what kind of returns you are looking for accordingly, the risk and all that, and then do it. I hope you like this video. So please do not forget, please do like it, click on like, share the video and also subscribe to the channel. Until then, happy investing everyone. Bye bye.